Let me contrast what I've been talking about in the other videos with a more traditional funnel model for email. So imagine that within the first 2 weeks, you've got 10% of your subscribers become buyers. So that's 100 sales at $10, like we talked about in the previous video. We take in $1,000 on the front end, 1,000 subscribers, so we're taking in $1 per subscriber within the first 2 weeks. If we're paying $2 per subscriber on average, even after 2 weeks, we're still in the hole by 50% of our investment. We will make it up in the long run. I'm just pointing it out for contrast right now. Okay, let's take it to the next level, and we'll assume that 10% of the people that bought at $10 will now invest $100 per month, hypothetically. So that means we'll have 10 sales at $100 per month. We would have invested $2,000 for 1,000 subscribers. In the first 2 weeks, we generate $1,000. So we put half back into our pockets. And over the next 2 weeks, we would have generated another $1,000 on the first month's payments. We would then have broken even on our initial investment. So that's still a cool place to be, as most people don't break even on their initial investment. Every month for the next 9 months, we're going to take in $1,000, give or take, on those initial coaching clients. There will normally be some drop-off or retention issues, which over time, so that number is going to go down. If we were to collect all of it, it would take most of the course of the year for us to do this. Remember too also that you're layering on top of that any additional trainings that you might sell. So that might give you additional revenue so that you'd end up after 2 or 3 years at like $20 to $30 per subscriber. Basically, you're moving people from a lower priced item to a higher priced item. Very traditional funnel. You might ask, what if we have a $37 item instead of a $10 item? That might change the economics, right? Yes and no. What we find is that if we increase the price to $37, we generally see a drop-off in conversion, roughly 2/3 the conversion. So instead of having 100 buyers at $10, you might have 7 to 8 buyers at $37. This would give you the same amount of money, just less buyers, which is okay, but the interesting thing is if we go with an entry-level amount of $37 instead of $10, we will have fewer tire kickers. Most people that buy $10 items will typically not buy anything over $10. It's just their mentality, and you and I both know that it's difficult to get genuine value for $10. They might get something valuable for $10, but they stay in that cycle of buying things for only $10, and they never graduate to a higher level. What that means is that the conversion rate from your $10 item to your coaching program is much lower. Now, this is all on average. I mean, it does depend on what you sell and what you're offering in the beginning. So this may vary depending on your niche and your situation. If we open up with a $37 for that initial item, we tend to see upsell conversion rate to the coaching program at like 20 to 30%. This means at 30%, you'd still get the same number of long-term coaching clients as you would at $10. So changing the initial buy-in from 10 to 37 or the other way around, it doesn't change the economics in the long run very much in my experience. The question then becomes, why sell at $37 if you can have more buyers at $10 or $7? And the answer is that $37 buyers tend to require less customer service than $10 buyers. If we're going to break even in the long run, let's go ahead with the $37 buyers. Let's contrast a different way of doing this. We started with $10 or $37 and 1,000 subscribers. It does pay off eventually. It creates revenue and profit over the course of the year. So either one of these are a pretty traditional funnel. In the next video, I'll give you a different type to think about.